Listen, well done on Saturday. What was it like to come back after so long out? And I mean, it must have been a really pleasant experience, really good to get back out there and do a job as well.
Yeah, it was pretty nervous leading in to the game. Obviously, injury early on in the week with Robbie going down, and then wasn't too sure what the go was, and then found out Thursday that starting. So a bit of a shock, but a lot of nerves. But yeah, it's good to be out there playing again. I know it's been a while. Start of January, so hence the nerves.
You didn't look nervous. You didn't look nervous, Charlie. What did Leo say to you before the match? Were you given specific jobs or specific tasks that he wanted you to accomplish?
Not necessarily. Pretty much just don't really say much. Just do your role. We'll back here and just empty the tank. I know they sort of knew I wasn't going to go the full 80, so all they asked was just give me what you got. So yeah, no, pretty much did.
There were some outstanding performances there from yourself and some of your teammates. Just what's it like to play with Jameson Gibson Park? I mean, does his style of play mean you have to be more alert or more on the ball just because of the tempo he's playing at?
I think he adds another dynamic to the game we sort of try and play. Obviously, we try to speed things up and play with tempo, but at times he's calm enough to slow it down and know when to kick. But he's got a lot of experience behind him, a lot of big games, especially with Ireland at the moment. So he's well experienced at the moment.
Leinster have been here before. This is obviously your first season, but we've been watching on Leinster closely for the last 10 years. Do you get any sense that maybe the team or the management would have hoped for a little bit more from Toulouse? As in, we were expecting a closer game, but Leinster didn't seem to be stressed at all on Saturday, which is testament to the quality that Leinster played with. But in terms of building up for a final, was there part of you or Leinster that wished you got a more severe test?
I think we knew it was going to be a hard match. Obviously, we've played Toulouse in the last few years, and we knew in terms of the style they play and we play, and it's a lot similar. So we trained for that over the last 2 weeks while the boys were doing an awesome job in Africa. So the boys stayed behind, prepped well for that. Knew it's going to be hard. It wasn't going to be an easy game, and that's all we could do.
But I mean, in terms of preparing, I don't know if it's something we want to admit to do. It was similar to last season against Toulouse in terms of they didn't put you under as much pressure as you expected, and how does that set you up going forward?
I think it sets us up well, really. They like to play a high tempo game, and we know coming up against Sharks this week, and then semi-finals and leading into the final, that the pressure rugby that teams are going to put you under, we've got to prepare for that. And Toulouse are a team like that as well, where they love to offload the ball, they love to put you under pressure, force mistakes, and then try and lift the stand up again. So we talked about that and planning for pressure rugby in the coming weeks.
What about the Sharks? What have you identified as the threats from the Sharks? And they're obviously come in as 8 seeds. You guys are top, and they're travelling away. But where do you see their danger?
They're a class outfit as well. They got a few South African players in their team. A lot of experience as well. They've a real quick team. They got speed out in the wings. Physical team. So. We know we played them earlier on in the year, and that was a tough match, physical match, and we were expecting that again. They've had the week off, so they'll be preparing well for this, and we know that they're going to come hunting for us.
And you obviously have a very busy schedule ahead over the next month. What do you do, Charlie, to switch off? Can you just tell me maybe your hobbies? would you watch the snooker, or how do you relax?
I love to watch a bit of telly, but my time's taken up with family, looking after the kids, running them around off to their sports, and that most afternoons or most weekends. So that's where pretty much my time is after this. So yeah, so she's pretty busy schedule after rugby.
And how have you settled in Dublin? How have you found it? Because obviously it's a big switch from France as well.
Yeah, it's been good. I think for me it's been pretty easy. Obviously rugby, you wake up, shoot down to training, train all day or do what you do, and then you go home and with the kids and the family. I think that's the hardest part is making sure that they're happy, because if they're not happy, then it sort of puts you under stress as well. So that was sort of over the last year. I look back and making sure that they're happy, then it's a lot easier for me to perform.
Awesome. Thanks, Charlie, and best of luck for the weekend.
Cheers.
Charlie, it's Don here. Well done on Saturday. You've played for the All Blacks. You've played for the Maori All Blacks. Would you have seen that match as at a test level?
Oh, definitely. Certainly in the first half, or being out for so long, the standard that both teams were playing at, or the speed, it was a quick game. I know I look back and I've played games back in New Zealand, especially when we played Crusaders, how intense those games were, and the lead up into it during the week, and definitely that's what it felt like, a test match, that you're preparing for a test match even early on in the week.
Even for an ex-sprinter, Charlie, it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit different. Certainly sprinting, the old butterflies and that going, especially when you're lining up to race. I know that feeling. But
Indeed. Charlie, I don't know if you saw the Chiefs beat the Crusaders recently, but would you say there's been a drop in the level of competition in Super Rugby now? With South African teams not taking part.
I think it certainly has, in terms of sort of physically. I know, looking back, playing South Africa teams, they bring that sort of physicality, that sort of big-bodied sort of player. They sort of add another dynamic to Super Rugby back then, and now playing here in the URC, you sort of start to see the comparisons when Super Rugby was there, when the South African teams were playing, but they're exciting, like speed, power, strength. So, and yeah, like we're starting to see that now.
Yeah. How would you compare that with, say, with Toulouse or La Rochelle? You were saying you've prepared for 2 weeks for Toulouse. Would you see La Rochelle as being a similar package that's coming down the line?
I think at this stage we're taking week by week at this stage. Like we played the semi-final on the weekend. We've got another final now this weekend coming. And if we start to look too far ahead, we sort of lose this weekend coming. So we're just planning this weekend, and hopefully we put our best foot forward, and then carry that momentum on.